Hey y'all, welcome back to our very bookish channel, and welcome to a new series we're starting called One Popular Book, Two Opinions in Under 10 Minutes.
Hey guys, it's Jen, and time for my opinion in our series, Two Opinions, One Popular Viral Book in Under 10 Minutes. Our first in this series is going to be Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And I wouldn't say I would have been drawn to this book on my own or have picked this up and wanted to read this just by seeing it online, because romantasy hasn't been pulling my interest as much. I think I've just been a little let down from Onyx Storm, so I haven't been as eager to go back to romantasy. But I feel I was a little peer pressured into this by a few people I work with. You know who you are. I was telling Amanda that I was reading it, and she said she's been wanting to read it and maybe she should read it too, and that's how this was born. I decided to do audiobook for this, and if you see the physical book, it does look intimidating. It's over 600 pages. I want to say it's like 670 pages. But the audio for this was very entertaining, I have to say. In my opinion, it was perfect for audio, and I very much enjoyed listening to it. Now, the first 40 to 50% of this book, might even be as much as 60%, it wasn't doing anything new. And to be honest, the main character of Saris, she is like two other characters that I have read in fantasies last year, which is in Games God's Play, and I'm forgetting the character, and also in the Wren and the Holly Library. Both of them were pickpockets. Both of them end up meeting a male that kind of has a lot of like friction with them, and they're fighting with them, and there's also tension and a romance blossoming. So I feel like it wasn't necessarily original. But then in the last like 30%, I feel the plot picked up a lot, and there were a lot of interesting things that happened, and I ended up fully embracing this book and enjoying it a lot. I ended up giving it 4 stars. My friends who were peer pressuring me at work, actually, a lot of them gave it 5 stars, and they especially loved the ending. Obviously, this is a no spoiler review, so I'm not going to talk about that. So some of my favorite things about this book, if I just wanted to do it in a chaotic way, pun intended there, and if you read the book, you get it. One of my favorite things is Onyx, and I won't say what that is. I also loved Carrion as a character. I do feel the ending made up a lot of why I love it, and I definitely want to read the second one. It's called Brimstone, and it comes out November 18th. If you guys watch this enough, you know that Amanda definitely loves fantasy, probably a lot more than I do in romantasy, and I don't read it as often, but I have been dabbling in it way more than I had previously. And I haven't read anything with fae involved before. I know that is a new topic among fantasy books that I've seen a lot of people gravitate towards. I do feel like you get a fair amount of details in this book about that world, and I found it very enjoyable, especially on audio. This book has been very popular, so if you've already read it, feel free to, in your comments, to say some of the things that you have loved about it or didn't like. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you even DNF'd it. Who knows? But I feel like this was an enjoyable book, and I would think that those that read fantasy or romantasy would also enjoy it. I think it also depends on how much similar you may have already read, because it wasn't getting my interest right away, since, especially like I said, the main character was so similar to a couple of the characters I had read in books from last year.
In order to save time, I'm not going to talk about the plot of this book. If you want a synopsis, you can read the back of the book and get an idea of what the book is about. I'm going to talk about how I felt about the book and the characters. So Sierras, I really liked her character. I felt like she got a little frustrating for me personally. more towards the middle of the book, but I do like her character. I do like the evolution of her character. I love books where characters evolve. They start out one way and they kind of evolve and become kind of a totally different character by the end of the book, and I absolutely love that. And I do feel like this character evolved a lot during the book. I thought Quicksilver was a good book boyfriend, not my favorite or anything, but he was good. I did like him more towards the end of the book, and he is kind of grumpy in the beginning, but you kind of find out why, and Sierra's kind of pulls down these walls that he has built up and all this anger that he has. The one thing that I don't like about characters is the self-sacrificing part. I just hate it when characters will try to sacrifice themselves constantly in order to save all these other people, and I do feel like there was a lot of that going on in the book with these characters. As far as the story goes, I really liked the story and I really liked the world that's built in this duology. I personally love the alchemy part. I graduated college with a degree in engineering and worked as a metallurgical engineer for years after I graduated college, so I absolutely loved the metallurgy part of this book. They call it alchemy in this book, but it was very, it was very themed like metallurgy, and I just thought that was very fun, very different. I've never read a book where there's magic metals before, so I thought that was fun. I mean, of course I've read books with magic relics and things, but not necessarily where someone can speak to metal or has magic within the metal itself that they can control. I just thought that was really fun. I have to say, I did really like Carrion. I thought his character was really funny. He reminded me a lot of a Ryan Reynolds type character, where he does do smart things and does have good ideas and can be useful, but is also extremely funny in the meantime. I really liked his addition to the book and I really enjoyed his character. I really hope to see more of him in the next book. And overall, I thought the book was fun to read, but I really felt more entertained at the end. I felt like the first maybe like 60% of the book I felt was just okay. It was just average, just your normal romantasy, but it really picked up at the end, and I really can't wait to find the next book when it comes out. I did find out that later this year they are releasing the second book in this duology, and it's definitely going to be on my most anticipated. I can't wait for it to come out. If you like paperbacks, I would say you guys need to buy up the paperbacks, because when they are going to release a hardcover edition of Quicksilver later this year, and then the next book is going to be hardcover when it's first released, and then I'm assuming they'll release a paperback after that. So if you are a paperback girly like I am, I would say go ahead and buy the paperback if you want to hold on to this book. So overall, I gave this book 4 stars. I thought it was better than a lot of other romantasies that I have read, but also it didn't really give me those 5-star vibes. I really didn't think the book was worthy of 5 stars until over halfway in, and then the ending, I still am not sure. I do think though the second book could be 5 stars for me, because the way that this book ended just had me really wanting more, and I really want to spend more time in this world. So the second book definitely has a lot of potential to be a 5-star read, and I cannot wait for it to come out.
Thanks for watching for our quick opinion on a popular book. Let us know if there's anything that you think we should read that we haven't read that's hugely popular, and we give a quick opinion on it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time.